Well, Latife, good morning. Good morning, Nigerians, and welcome to Kakaaki Social. I am Ohima Amaize. On this segment of the show, we spotlight the issues shaping conversations in the Nigerian social media. Compliments of the season, Christmas is in the air, right? Okay, so what's trending this morning? We'll take a look at the trader money scheme, which has been sweeping across the country. Last week, Friday, the vice president was in Warri to distribute some more money to traders in that vicinity. Well, let's take a look at how that issue panned out in the social media. The vice president was in Warri on Friday to distribute some money in continuation of the trader money scheme, which seeks to empower petty traders across Nigeria. The media aide to the vice president, Laolu Akonde, tweeted and said, VP Oshibajo in Warri market with beneficiaries of the 10,000 naira collateral-free trader money loans. It is excitement all the way. This is one of the many ways the Buhari administration is touching lives far above the rhetorics and other political contrivances. He attached a video to that tweet. Let's take a look at the video and the comments that followed.
We are going to change the life.
I'm so happy to meet you, sir.
Wow, so when will this trader money reach my doorsteps? Maybe I should start a small business. Okay, Dikwa Desuba tweeted and said, we can never thank the VP enough for empowering the poor, the most forgotten in the land. Hashtag next level. From Emmanuel Akban tweeting said, Chief Laolu, please, can I ask one question? If the aim is to lift us out of poverty, why can't we share $1 million to everybody since we are just about 190 million Nigerians? Valid point, right? They should just share $1 million to all Nigerians, and poverty, we can say goodbye to poverty. El Jerry Udofia tweeting said, what a shame, 10K collateral-free business loan. What business can you start with 10K in Nigeria with no infrastructures on ground? And then from Dakpo Igbasan, tweeting at D. Igbasan, let's go into the classroom for little maths. If a trader is able to save 500 naira daily from their sales, that will amount to 15,000 every month. This is what some private schools pay some graduate teachers. Reason it out and see they want 10K and see that the 10K is not a waste. From Dakbo Igbasan, they're tweeting. From Agbo Cletus and tweeting said, it's like this trader money is more prominent in the southern part of the country as opposed to the northern part that is deep-rooted in poverty. I never really saw that. Well, it's the season of political campaigns, and the animal kingdom is saying we don't want to be left out of the conversation. It seems like a dog has endorsed a candidate for the 2019 presidential elections. Which candidate did the dog endorse? Well, let's take a look. Social media user, Twitter user actually, Eta Uso, shared the tweet with us. Let's take a look at that tweet and the video that was embedded. Okay, can we go back, please, to the tweet before the video from Royalty Eta tweeting. He tweeted and said, you need to watch this. See what this dog said about Nigeria. From Royalty Uso, Twitter user. Let's take a look at the video that he embedded.
Now we'll decide, we want to know who's going to win 2019 presidential election. Yeah, doggy. Who do you think will win next year's election? Obasanjo? Donald Duke? Buhari? Wow. Saraki? Tambua? Atiku? Are you sure? Atiku? Oh. Atiku? Okay, so Atiku is going to win next year. Oh, voila.
Okay, but how did you know that that is what the dog meant, though? Anyway, let's take a look at the comments that follow. The dog is even afraid when the name of the guy is mentioned, yet they think it is love. Dogs only bark when they hear or see terrible things. From Faris Mohammed tweeting there. Ogujopo Michael tweeting said, the dog got it right that Buhari will win by being humble enough to get down at the mention of his name, but picked offense at the mention of Atiku's name by barking continuously. Okay, let's take a look at more comments. Peter Obike tweeting said, Nigerians, don't be gullible. How can a hungry dog predict your leader? Is Nigeria now a zoo? we need to start reasoning well. And then we saw another tweet from Monye Jold. There is no point for prediction. The votes in the north will be splitted in two, with Atiku leading. The vote in the south will be 75% for Atiku, so Buhari is going back to Katsina State in May 2019. And then we saw another tweet from Ishijola Samuel. You people have not forgotten what that pig said about Nigeria winning Argentina in the just concluded World Cup. Have you? Sijola Samuel tweeting there. And from that issue, we move on to why was President Buhari booed at the National Assembly last week? You remember the member of the House of Reps that said he should be allowed to go and fight Boko Haram, Honorable Gudaji Kazare? He has an explanation from Philip Obin tweeting and said, you really have to watch this. He attached this video. Let's take a look at this video and the comments that followed.
Bribe the members before they brought the budget. That is what the PDP members knows, and that is what they experienced before. The president is not corrupt. He cannot send us money here. That is why they are shouting. Don't anybody tell you something. This is the reason. The president never bribed PDP members. That is why they are shouting, because they are fighting the progress. Since last 2 weeks, they are calling meetings to stop the president for presenting this budget. That is what we experience is they don't want this budget to late. They want to create a problem so that the budget will not late. And secondly, what I told you is before in 2015 budget, during PDP administration, they were bribed before the budget was sent here. But the president will not bribe them. That is why they are shouting. And if you look at, because the man is a man of God, is a man of integrity, we overpower them and we shut them down. So this is what happened. This is really reality. They are expecting president to send them bribe. He didn't send them. That is the reason.
This is an accusation. This is an accusation.
They are asking me why you are. They are asking me. Many of my colleagues are asking me, your president never bring anything. Oh. That is why we are shouting. Oh. That is what they are telling me. It's not an accusation, it's a reality. Honorable Muhammad Gudaji Kazore from Jigawa State.
Is the leadership aware of all these accusations? When they ask you,
whether they are aware or not, I am telling you, it's not accusation. Majority of the members, they ask me, this boss never bring something. Oh. That is why we are shouting. Oh.
Oh my God, okay. Now, Honorable Kazare has told us why they were booing last week at the National Assembly. Ola for Life tweeting said, we have known them for long to be Oliver Twist. They are never satisfied with their fast salaries and bonuses. All they are interested in is to loot the treasury. Selfish set of people. And then we saw another tweet from I Am Falode. How come they needed money in 2018? Who bribed them in the previous years? So if it is true that they booed the president because of money, it means the president has been bribing them before now. Cheap propaganda. I thought that was a valid point though. EcoSignal tweet and said that I'm just wondering if this guy can deliberate on any issue on the floor of the House. English, 0. And the budget is written in English. I pity the people you represent. And then from another Twitter user, Idzmua OG, I see nothing wrong with this man's English. I understood him. I can never support APC, but please, PDP members, we are Nigerians before PDPians. Let's look into the issue and investigate and not follow these people blindly. They are all our enemies, PDP and APC. From that Twitter user. From that issue, now we move on to the issue of Nollywood actor William Suchemba, who was trending yesterday. He has always described himself as a UN ambassador, but yesterday a UN official disclaimed that claim, claiming that William Suchemba is not an ambassador of the United Nations, and he has actually been using that position to actually get people to go to UN conferences, and they have to pay money to him, as we have learned on the social media in this issue that is currently trending. Let's go on and take a look at details of this report that has got a lot of people shocked and surprised. Months after meeting Buhari, actor William Suchemba exposed for fraud. Let's take a look at details of that report that was trending in the social media from yesterday up till this morning. Okay, my screen is truncated. I can't read that report. Let's go on to the next slide. And then let's go on. Okay, so these are the details on Instagram from Instablog Niger. Edafe Okporo, an activist based in the United States, called William Suchemba out on Instagram. He said this is a cheap scam for so many young Nigerians and youths around the world. Friendship Ambassador is collecting money in the name of UN Youth Envoy. And then he tagged the UN Youth Envoy, calling her attention to what was happening. Let's take a look again at the next slide. Further details on this matter. Edafe Okporo still posting, said at UNESCO, at WHO, at Gates Foundation, at Vanguard News, this has been a continuous misrepresentation of the UN Youth Envoy position by William Suchemba. And he actually attached a screenshot. I think he had a chat with William Suchemba where he was. These are the details of that conversation. Okay, I will need 3 things from you: passport data page, email address, registration fee of $1,000. After payment is confirmed, I will then send you a questionnaire for you to fill and send back. The $1,000 covers your United Nations invitation letter, which is what you would take to the embassy, and the UN will also send a copy to the embassy, which is also registration and admission into the UN headquarters. Your training materials and certificate from the United Nations, your US visa process. So here is a Nigerian sending a message to William Suchemba on Instagram, and William Suchemba actually promising to help him attend the conference after a fee of $1,000. But that has been disclaimed now as a fraud. Let's take a look at the next slide. This is also another Nigerian tweeting. I work in Dubai as a systems operator. I will pay. Okay, I will need 3 things from you: passport data page, email address, registration fee of $1,000. After payment is confirmed, I will then send you a questionnaire for you to fill and send back. He actually sent his WhatsApp number to the guy. This is what is currently happening. Nigerians are reacting to this issue. Let's take a look at the comments that have followed from Badman20. This gist about William Suchemba being a fake member of the UN Youth Ambassador is so disturbing. Most of these people who flaunt cash and expensive rides on Instagram are living a fake life. Una don dey cast one by one. From Badman20, we saw that tweet. Let's take a look at Real Ebuka tweeting, said, William Suchemba, if it is true that you are a scammer, I'm not going to play God and judge, but you owe every youth an apology. From Real Ebuka tweeting there. Let's take a look at more comments on Instablog yesterday. MZ Wheezy, how can you pay $1,000 into an individual's personal account to attend the UN program? How can people still be this stupid in 2018? Almost 2019. Just how? And from Anes Zamaini, posting on Instablog yesterday, said, I remember someone asking me where this guy gets his money from because we just love the way he gives. And I innocently said he works with the United Nations. I'm amazed right now. I hope there's an explanation for this. And then, of course, William Suchemba, in his official Instagram handle, actually describes himself as Nigerian youth representative at the Youth Assembly at the United Nations. But yesterday, in an official statement by, let's take a look at that tweet, by UN Youth Envoy, through the verified handle. She's an official of the United Nations in charge of everything that has to do with young people. She was tweeting yesterday in a statement, said, it has been brought to my attention that organizations and individuals claim affiliation to my office and to the United Nations, promising participation in meetings and conferences upon payment of a fee. Please note, the United Nations does not charge a fee at any stage for participating in meetings and conferences. The Office of the United Nations Secretary General's Envoy on Youth does not have country or regional representatives. From the Office of the Secretary General's Envoy on Youth, William Suchemba, a lot of his fans are very disappointed. He has not made any statement on this matter yet. They are hoping that he says something that finally clears the air on this issue that is currently raging in the social media. From that issue, now we move on to Reno Omokri. Reno Omokri, former presidential aide to former President Goodluck Jonathan, is in the news for something interesting. Reno Omokri, in his usual style of posting fake news, tweeted earlier today in a bid to paint Buhari in bad light. Unknown to him, the report he referenced in his post is dated 2012, when his hero was the one in charge of the country. Dude has since deleted the tweet, but it is here from Mr. Abusi, calling out Reno Omokri. What Reno Omokri actually did was that he posted a tweet, actually a story, claiming that 800 companies had folded up under President Muhammadu Buhari. But hey, the problem is that the story he posted was a 2012 story when his boss, former President Goodluck Jonathan, was still in office. And moments after he discovered he had made an error, he deleted the tweet. But trust Twitter users. The internet never forgets. They already screenshotted it. Let's take a look at that issue from Reno Omokri. This was what he tweeted. He said the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria reveals that 800 firms folded up in 3 years due to President Buhari's failed government. Yet the president, with all his integrity, went to NAS yesterday to boast of economic recovery. But here's the original story. It's actually a 2012 report that was widely reported. Let's go on to the next slide, please. And this from Premium Times. 800 companies shut down in 3 years, says Nasima, September 11, 2012. Premium Times. So also in the Punch on so many other newspapers. And then from Fatty Rule, tweeting said, Reno Omokri, a player, just played himself. Reno scored a home goal. Reno got busted. Only a gullible youth will fall for Reno's lies. And then we saw another tweet from M. Mutawale. Even for a merchant of lies, you sometimes run out of stock. And this is happening to Reno Omokri at such a desperate time. So he's clutching at anything that comes at sight. From M. Mutawale and from Paul Gimsey, he thrives in selling fake news. Even the government that he served sacked him at some point for overdoing it. He has no inhibitions as long as the pay is right. Reno really taking a lot of bashing. And then from Osara 793, Reno Omokri needs to repent before it is too late. Okay. This is social media. This is Nigerian social media. Yeah, sometimes it swings your way, sometimes it swings the other way. So, no hard feelings, guys. This is where we wrap up Kakaaki Social this morning. I am Ohima Amaize. Follow the conversation on all our various social media platforms at Kakaaki Social, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kakaaki Social. Handing you over back now to Chikodinaka and Utibi.
Thank you very much, Ohima. Have a wonderful day.